Now we do have this map. Now we can of course also work with that map. For example, it would be very common that we want to extract one specific URL. And that's why we are using a map in the first place, because now we don't have to memorize its position and use the index, but instead we can extract a value by key. So here, if I want to print the URL of Amazon Web Services, then we access websites. And now again, just as with arrays and slices, we use square brackets, but now between those square brackets, we don't have the ID, but instead the key. So here now I can access Amazon Web Services. Of course, you need to make sure that you don't introduce a typo here, because otherwise, if I just type Amazon Web Service, for example, without the S at the end, we would target a totally different key, which simply doesn't exist here. So you must avoid such typos. But with that, again, if I run this, we can extract that URL here. And that's the advantage of maps. We can use specific labels, keys, to extract our values by such keys, and in some scenarios, that is simply easier to memorize than the position and the index of an element. Now, when you work with maps, you are also not stuck to the initial map. You can always add new key value pairs. So unlike with arrays, there is no difference between arrays and slices. A map is a map and it's always dynamic. You can always add new key value pairs. So if you want to add a new website, you just access websites, and then you access a key that doesn't exist yet. For example, here I could access LinkedIn, which is a key that's not part of the original map, and just assign some value here, like linkedin.com. And if we then print our website's map thereafter, if we do this, and we save all that code, and we run our code, then you see that here LinkedIn is part of that map. So adding new items is always possible and super easy. You just target a key that doesn't exist yet and add that value that you want to add. Of course, you can always overwrite a value by targeting an existing key and setting a new value for that key. Sometimes you also want to get rid of keys, and you can do that with the built-in delete function, which is built into Go, just like append was built in. And delete wants a map and then the key that should be deleted. So here the map which I want to target is websites. And then the second parameter is the key which I want to delete. And let's say that's Google. So this first key here. And if we target that with this, and I then print websites thereafter, you will see that if you save everything and you then run this code here, this new map here only has Amazon Web Services and LinkedIn, but not Google, because we deleted Google. So adding items, deleting items, overwriting items, and reading items, that's all relatively straightforward with maps.